Separated from the Sahara Desert by the Atlas Mountains, Marrakech was built in 1070 as the capital of the Almoravid Empire. Formed from the earth, its red mud buildings have given it the nickname the Red City. However, Marrakech is more than just a Moroccan historic city. It is a multi-sensory experience with vivid colors, tasty fragrances, enticing sounds, and unusual sights. Marrakech is well known throughout the world for its markets and Medina shopping, but there is much more to do there. When you've had the chance to take in the unique fusion of European, Middle Eastern, and African culture, venture beyond the city for unmatched views of the mountains and the desert. Keep watching to see more of what Marrakech has to offer. Number 1. Ali Ben Youssef Madrasa. Some of Marrakech's finest artwork is thought to be found in the local mosques. However, as they are inaccessible to non-Muslims, Ali Ben Youssef Madrasa is the finest place to learn about the beauty of the Islamic architecture. The madrasa, which dates back to the 14th century, once held the title of the greatest Quranic institution in North Africa. The stunning central courtyard has architecture influenced by both Moroccan and Andalusian styles. The lavishly tiled floor has a sizable small reflecting pool built into it, and intricate walls with calligraphic and sallige phrases surround it. A prayer niche with intricately carved lattice balconies is located at one end. The student rooms surrounding the courtyard are completely devoid of decoration, adding contrast and mystical allure to Ali Ben Youssef Madrasa. Number 2. The Central Souks of Marrakech. The souks in the heart of Marrakech are winding laneways filled with outdoor markets. They give the medieval Medina its unique liveliness because they are crammed with a variety of stalls. One of the most energizing activities in Marrakech is getting lost while wandering the souks. It's like being transported back in time. While some of the stall holders are more interested in the tourist industry, many still create their artisanal goods using old-fashioned techniques. The various crafts are used to organize the souks. There are different kinds of souks. For example, the most common is souk hadadin, which is the metalwork sections where pots, trinkets, and jewelry are produced. Or the souk cheratin, which is the leather goods souk, where you can stroll the packed arcades with the aroma of leather wafting in the air. Number 3. Rabah Kadima Square. A well-established custom of hospitality in Morocco is the drinking of mint tea. The tea is frequently made by the men of the house in accordance with the custom that has been passed down through the ages and is typically served upon arrival in a riad or at meal times. One of our favorite trip experiences from Morocco is watching the extended flow from an elaborate teapot that was raised high above a little glass. Cafe des Espices is among the greatest locations in Marrakech to experience this custom. This bustling cafe, which is surrounded by stalls and perched on the edge of the busy Rabah Kadima Square, provides the ideal vantage point from which to see Medina life. The constant source of hubbub, prime people watching, and delicious mint tea combine to create one of the best things to do in Marrakech. Number 4. The Mela. The Mela is Marrakech's former Jewish neighborhood. It was created by Sultan Abdallah al-Ghalib of the Saadian dynasty in 1558. As mandated by Sharia law at the time, the goal was to defend Jews fleeing persecution from the Iberian Peninsula. The network of narrow laneways, which has been restored multiple times over the years, lacks the madness of the Medina and instead resembles an interesting local area. Don't miss the Grand Bijouterie, an ornate jewelry arcade that still sells gold by the ounce. The palm-lined square of Place des Ferblantières is a scenic meeting point with small shops selling spices, clean lamps, and homewares. Finally, the Slat al-Azama Synagogue, with its courtyard decorated in a blaze of blue, and the Jewish cemetery are a poignant reminder of how many Jews once called Marrakech home. Number 5. Bahia Palace. The Bahia Palace is one of the most magnificent sights in Marrakech, with a symmetrically attractive courtyard, beautiful woodwork, and Italian marble. It was initially constructed in the 1860s, and in the early 1900s, it underwent expansion and renovation with greater flair and luxury. Even though only a small portion of the 150 rooms is accessible to the general public, this is sufficient to get a sense of the spectacular decorations, which are thought to be some of the best examples of Moorish Andalusian architecture in Morocco. Stained glass windows, woven silk panels, and cedar ceiling carvings are used to embellish the rooms. The courtyards of the palace are where the opulence of the building is best seen. Whitewashed gardens with central fountains reminiscent of Moorish architecture are filled with lush vegetation. The showpiece, however, is the huge grand courtyard with geometrical patterns stretching across an expansive marble floor surrounded by wooden galleries. Number 6. Visit a hammam. Most Moroccans attend a hammam, which is a public steam bath every week to cleanse the skin and purify the mind before prayer. As one of the 5 traditional elements in every neighborhood alongside the mosque, school, bakery, and fountain, the hammam is central to cultural and religious life in Morocco. Visiting is not only an invigorating thing to do in Marrakech, but a great way to dip into Moroccan culture, and can be a great way to really immerse yourself in the culture. However, they are not specifically set up for tourists, so you'll need to purchase soap, a mitt, and a bucket. Language can also be a challenge. On the other hand, a westernized hammam offers a pampering experience with massage treatments in an indulgent space. Number 7. Fundogs. A funduk is a type of medieval hostel built for traveling merchants who require a place to sail while navigating the lucrative caravan routes from the Sahara. Ground floor stables were set around a small courtyard, with lockable chambers on the first floors for storage and sleeping. At the time, fundogs were ornately decorated, and each one was made to draw a particular type of merchant based on their cultural background. After falling into disuse, many of them were converted into workshops for artisans to operate from. However, several have undergone sympathetic restorations, while others have been transformed into charming eateries, including the wildly popular Le Fundouk. Most of the fundoks in Marrakech are spread around the El Barayudin area of Route Sidi Abdel Aziz, where the traders had easy access to souks north of Jema El Efna. Pop your head into a few and enjoy the more serendipitous nature of visiting Marrakech. Number 8. Saadian Tombs. The Chamber of the 12 Columns in the Saadian Tombs is considered the pinnacle of Moroccan architecture. 3 of the most significant Saadian dynasty sultans are buried in the elaborately built area. Their lavish final resting places, which consist of a number of exquisite burial halls embellished with Italian marble, arches framed in gold, beautifully carved oak, and vast tiling, reflect their significance to society. The tomb for Sultan Ahmed al-Mansur's mother maintains its grandeur, but his wives and advisors were not given access to such opulent final resting places. Their graves are outside, in the garden. About 170 tombs are located in the compound, which is built around a lovely garden. Queues can be long, so come early if possible or join a tour. Nevertheless, it's one of the most beautiful things to see in Marrakech. Number 9. Musée de Marrakech. The Marrakesh Museum is housed in the Dar Menebi Palace and contains an assorted collection of weapons, carpets, and pottery from different regions of Morocco. The main reason to pop your head in, however, is to see the impressive central courtyard, typical of Moroccan architecture from the 19th century. The central courtyard was once an open riad with a garden of planted trees. Today, however, the garden had been paved over and embellished with several fountains, decorated in colorful tiles and topped off with cedar wood panels. The ostentatious chandelier hanging in the courtyard is a great focal point in this excellent photo spot in Marrakech. Number 10. Yves Saint Laurent's house. The former home of Yves Saint Laurent is one of the most popular tourist attractions in Marrakech, featuring his house, Villa Oasis, a museum to his life's work, a Berber museum, and the beautiful Marjorelle Garden. The garden was originally designed by Jacques Majorelle, a French artist who fell in love with the rich blue used in Berber houses and made it a feature of his home and the garden. It has such mesmerizing effect on him that shortly before his death, he patented the color, which still carries his name. Majorelle Blue continued to feature heavily, and the property was purchased and restored by Yves Saint Laurent in the 1980s. It's a wonderful complex to stroll around, even for non-fashionistas such as ourselves. The museum's display of Yves Saint Laurent's design work was interesting, and the video of his life was compelling. The on-site restaurant is pretty good as well. Which of these places do you want to visit? Also, check out this other video if you want to visit Las Vegas. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more of our top 10 prime picks.